Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We got ourselves Blur, rl-blurr. This is going to be a LAN event match. It's a small LAN, and actually he's versing a pro. He's versing JKnaps. So this is going to be a very interesting match, and he of course wants some help on how he can improve with his team. So let's jump into it and see how it goes. Alright man, let's see what you got. I hope you're not upset that you lost this one, because obviously JKnaps is on the team. It's no big deal. Good play. I can tell that his teammates are probably not pros either. Because, like, I have to admit, their positioning is kind of very committing. I mean, what is Beaton doing? He's just pushing up, but there's nobody covering net. But good on your teammate, George, to stay up. So hopefully I can be as helpful as possible. But you guys get scored on quite a bit, so I should be able to help. Man, excuse me, I'm coughing. Okay, so nobody's doing anything, as you can see. Your challenge here is good. Good try on staying on the ball, but the problem is with your teammates here. I don't know. Everybody's bundling up. Yeah, Hudev gets outbeat here. The reason why is because he's moving too much, actually. He gets... Did he get the 100 boost? It was gone before. Oh, yeah, never mind. No, it's there. So, it's just... He pushes up, and no one's... He's not covering just in case if the ball goes around you. George is backwards, but that's okay. He's going to come back. Yeah, and then this play completely beats George. So if you really want to get this more smooth, your teammate is going to have to pay attention to what's happening on the play currently. Right now, a play is happening, right? You're going after the ball, right? So you're going after the ball, and so is the opponent. So if your teammate knew from earlier back in the, behind the screen here, he should see that something's going to happen. I know you have no boost, but if you can try, please get some small paths. You don't need 100 boost all the time. Also remember, George is rotating back. So what happens here, right? George is coming in, Hudev's coming in, and you're in the general area here. So basically, there's too much overlap coverage in this area, right? What happens if the ball, shoots out this way towards the net? So somebody has to just kind of just take the time to just cover the nets. So I know this is very kind of like on the spot here, but your teammates are going to have to recognize these situations sooner, and that's why a lot of times you have to start predicting a move or two ahead of your opponent. So let's go to your teammate here. Right, he should see that you're going to cause a play, right? You're going to push the ball over to the wall, and Hazard's still there. He's trusting that you're going to beat him, but this touch is relatively heavy, so you can't get to it in time. So that's why you end up getting scored on. Hudev is getting rid of the coverage in net. He can just simply not move too fast like he's doing, but go around these boost pads, right? These three. 1, 2, 3. Come back here. Wait, and then go after it. Hudev should call it that he's going to go after it. George, hopefully, since George sees that Hudev is sticking around here, you guys should call that George should just rotate out wide. I don't know why George is rotating towards the play. You're not covering anything with 0 boost. Trust me, you're not. Just get out. Take these half moon pads here, or rotate out towards mid so you can cover anything that comes out in mid as you rotate behind Hudev, and Hudev can push up right this way, so then he has a better attack on the ball. So hopefully that makes sense. It just comes down to just understanding a little bit ahead of a time what's really going on here. And pros are very good at understanding threats and understanding understanding plays that are you know, happening, that are going to be, you know, that are going to be there and that are being produced. Okay, good defense there. At least you tried to get the ball. I think you can be a little faster, though. Again, I don't know why you're flipping around here. Don't flip here. You're by your net, right? If for whatever reason the ball gets hit behind you, you can't react to it anymore because you're flipping. You're mid-animation and you can't do anything about it. So get in the habit of just driving around. You know, you'll be more likely to react to things quicker. Right? And besides, you actually don't need to follow this play. Why? Because Hudev is already going that way. So right here, you should stop. Right? Watch out for anybody behind you. Just stay around here. Okay, then you can go, right? Shoot it out into middle that way, into the open space. It's as simple as that. You don't want to rush around too much. I mean, it is threes. You want to be quick, but you got to be smart at the same time. And my game is a little bit freezing up. I don't know why. Because realistically, right, now that you missed your opportunity to boom the ball, look what's happening. You go into this play, but now, look, your team is getting slammed on defense. Everybody's bundling up in the corner here. It's just complete chaos, and it's not efficient. If you watch pro players, this doesn't really happen a lot. The ball is moving around constantly, relatively quick, and in longer segments, not in the little space there. So you want to get things as smooth as possible. Make sure as a team you guys are covering as much of the field as you can. Good demo for your teammate. Good pass into middle. Unfortunately, teammate wasn't ready for that. He's pushing up way too far, actually. He should be waiting for a pass here, right? Because, look, nobody is covering middle, actually, besides JKnaps. But JKnaps isn't going to cover middle. He's just gonna rotate out, right? JKnaps is gonna rotate out. So technically, your teammate here can push up into this open space here, right? Beaten is gonna go after the ball. He's gonna feel pressured because teammate is dead. So George can push up middle. What you can do is, honestly, I would just turn right around and get behind George, just in case if the ball gets weirdly pinched over George's head. So you got to cover. I know it sounds weird, but you got to cover as much of the field as possible. This isn't really covering anything. The ball is definitely going to go this way since your teammate is going to have possession. Yeah, Beaton is going after it. So the ball can go this way, but I think if you get behind George will be pushed up over here. But don't get too far back, though, behind him. Since the play is going to be up here more, you can get back, but maybe stand around here. And then George would be somewhere over here. So, and since the play is relatively slow, the ball shouldn't pinch immediately behind everybody. So you can be a little bit closer up as third man. So just keep that in mind. Oh, that's what you do, right? Sort of. It's good enough, but Hudev just pushed up a little too much. Not Hudev, George. George pushed up a little too much. See, he's giving himself no time to react to this ball, actually, because, look, he flies right past it. If he just stayed back, right? Let's pretend I'm George. Right? Where is he? There he is. So I'm going to push up a little bit. And then I actually won't jump, just in case. Okay, JKnaps gets to clear. Okay, I can just stay around here as George. Okay, it's fine. Rotate out. Get demo on Beaton. Maybe on JKnaps as well. Rotate back over here. And then, you know, George will be over here. George can wait around. You get it. So it's just better coverage. All right, so let's go back on your point of view here. Okay. You got to be careful with these. I know maybe you're trying to call for a pass, but you guys have to really make sure that you're ready for this because you're really realistically helping out the opponents here. You're hitting the ball upwards and Beaton could just go up after it. Just what he does. You're basically just passing it to the opponents. Honestly, I would just carry this ball. I would let it drop and go for like a 50 on beaten, a low 50, and it just work from there. It's way more less hard committing and less risky that way, rather than giving the opponents the ball for sure. Good try on the beat. Okay, this doesn't work because the ball is being pushed towards the opponent sooner. Right? And JKnaps is already there in midfield covering for that. But it's a good try, though. If you want, I think would be probably better, honestly. Try passing the ball up, not downwards. Because when you hit the ball downwards, you're also just inviting the opponents to steal it. So if you keep the ball relatively high, JKnaps will most likely not go after it. I mean, it's going to fly over his head if your teammate... Just pretend this ball is hit up higher, right? I don't think JKnaps could even react to that, in all honesty. He's moving relatively slow, so he's not... He gets it because the ball is literally going right to him. I mean, look at this. He beats George because the ball is flying faster than George, and it's going to JKnaps' location. So if you want to pass, either pass it higher up so it's harder to reach for the opponents, or at least pass the ball in a way where your teammate is going to reach it first. And that usually means you got to hit it towards teammate. If you hit it too far ahead of your teammate, then he's not going to reach it in time. Good help on your teammate there. Good try in the demo. Good boost steal. Okay, what happened here? Too much dilly-dallying. You need to get back quickly. I don't know why you're not really... I mean, you are going supersonic, but you also lost it at the same time. I would cut in a little sooner, just in case. Right? You got to cover for middle. I know George is there, but he's got low boost. So just kind of cut in a little bit sooner like this. And then hopefully you can reach it. I don't know. You might be able to save it. Because I don't even think you're supersonic the whole time. Yeah, not really. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe you couldn't save it if you cut in a little sooner. But just be mindful that you did lose your supersonic here. I think you braked a little bit. And since you were this close, you probably were able to save this. I mean, look at that. Let's face it, you would have been faster if you kept at supersonic the whole time. You could have barely saved it. So, this is a tough play. I don't know if you would cut in a little sooner. I don't know if you would have saved this. Maybe not, actually, because it happens so close to your net anyways. But just be mindful of your speed. Also, your teammate kind of just botched this. Okay, so let me give you guys a quick tip here. A lot of times, the opponents are not going to keep the ball up. They usually drop it low. Right? What's funny is somebody's got to cover one option. So try to cover the lower option first so this doesn't happen. It's okay if he goes higher, right? Why? Because you have a teammate that's behind you, hopefully. If you guys are rotating good and covering good, you have a teammate who's behind. And hopefully that could be you, and you can jump up after the ball and hit it that way. Or if you're back sooner, you can just be on the backboard and read the higher ball. But most of the time, not most, but I would say a lot of times, opponents don't keep the ball up. They like to go low. Don't forget, right? Just for Hudev too, or any of you guys who are also in Hudev's position, don't have tunnel vision on just the player with the ball alone, right? Look what's happening here, right? Look what's developing. JKnaps knows he can help his teammate if his teammate drops the ball low, right? He can do those plays where he can jump up after the ball and just hit it quickly, right? Kind of like one of those fake plays, right? The first man is going to fake hitting the ball again, and really the second man is going to jump up after and hit the ball. Many pro teams do this, actually. So you got to be mindful of that. I think a lot of EU players do this in their games. So you don't want to have tunnel vision on just... who's this guy's name? I think I said his name earlier, but who cares? Anyways, whoever this player's name is, I think his name is Beaton, right? Something like that. You need to understand that there's a possibility that if he goes low, then JKnaps is going to hit the ball. So cover the pass instead. Don't always go high up. Right? Hopefully somebody else behind you on your team could cover that as well. And this is what good team coverage is with each other, is that you guys have each other's backs. So you don't make it like you guys are all we're over-reliant on this one player here, right? You can't bet all your cards on this 150. You guys have to be ready for anything. Go back to your Pav. Looks like you guys get a kickoff goal here. That's good. Good kickoff. Good bump, actually. Good try. Good bump again. Oh, good hit, actually. Someone's gonna jump up after this, though. Okay, see? I said that because you guys are giving too much space to the opponent. Excuse me. I have a little bit of allergies, according to the doctor. That's why I'm coughing a lot. Anyways, someone's have to go after this, right? Somebody. If you watch pro gameplay, a pro is 100% 50ing this ball with JKnaps. 100%. A pro is already up on that ball as we speak. So somebody's got to do that. You got George and Hudev. One of you two should be up for this. Somebody. I know he's got a flip or something, but somebody's got to take the initiative to cover an option, right? So it makes it easier for somebody else to cover the next option, right? Just put a body up, right? At least do something. I would recommend George to go first because Hudev can just simply rotate behind George. In this point of view here, Hudev can call it and be like, hey, I'm going to go for it first, and George would be the one back, but I think George should go first. Just put a body up, right? Hudev can come back here and jump up, right? If George doesn't do anything and the ball is still going this way. But hopefully George will go up and hit the ball somewhere else and buy time for your team. But you guys aren't doing that. Nobody's doing anything. And they get a nice pass. Also for you, Demo, right? Look what's going on, right? He can get a pass. Just rotate this way. Try to get beaten. Maybe you won't reach him in time, but at least try to get him, right? Pressure him a little bit. Even if you just put your body next to him, he might leave the position because he doesn't want to die. So you guys definitely could have done something there. That's definitely blockable, actually. Somebody's got to try. Don't be afraid. The number one thing you do in threes that's going to kill your games is by hesitating. Like the whole team hesitates and doesn't do anything. Yeah, that's definitely going to make you lose. It's a fast-paced game. You got it. Somebody's got to go. Okay. Somebody in middle. Yes, but not quite. What happens here? Well, pushing too far up. Who is third man in this position? I mean, George and Hudev are on the same line, right? The coverage is essentially the same, right? Hudev is covering out here, and then George is kind of just covering like over here. I mean, not even. I mean, Hudev's covering all this, but George isn't really covering. I hate to say it, but you're not really covering anything because if he doesn't hit this ball, you're going to hit this ball. But if he booms it out, George, you're definitely not going to reach it in time because the ball is going to get smacked way into middle. So this positioning is actually relatively pointless. If you want to be more useful, just stay back a little bit longer, right? And you can fall back here, jump up, and hit the ball. Up, catch on the wall, and do your thing. So again, a little bit of positional errors here. Definitely could be a little better. Hudev can play a little bit better here with the positioning. You're not understanding what can happen here, right? Blur is covering an option where JKnaps can keeps it on the wall. Hudev, you got to cover it if something's in the middle, and this is not positioning well, right? Because look, you're completely facing the wall. By the time you turn around, look, it's too late. You're just going to end up hitting the ball really weird. So just pause, right? Just kind of wait. Face this way. Face your nose this way, actually. Because even if you face this way straight, You need to turn around. Well, you can just turn around anyway, right? You can turn because there's still a lot of space, right? He's very far back, so you can actually just turn around. So face the play more and jump up after it. Could be a goal if you hit it in hard enough. Maybe not, but at least it puts pressure on the opponents immediately. So be mindful of your positioning and be mindful of who's covering who and what options are more more appropriate to cover. Okay, it's okay. It buys teammate time, but honestly, dude, since the ball's going down, you can probably just single jump and dodge into it with 23 boost. Single jump, dodge, hit it into the left, and hit it high, right? So you're hitting it up this way, nice and high. Make them waste boost to go after it. I mean, this is okay, but I think this is a little slow. But at least buys your team enough time to get back, so it's not totally worse, but it can be better. Okay, you got a little tunnel vision there. Look, Hazard is clearly falling on your side of the screen here. You can't forget about the player's positioning, so this is on you, honestly. You have a lot more tunnel vision than you realize. So I think you guys so far need to work on your situational awareness and team coverage. Don't be afraid to challenge some plays up in the air and 50 in the air, too. You guys are about to get scored on soon, so let's understand why. Okay, yeah. It's just nobody... You guys are just too slow. I mean, what happens is if these players are better than you, then realistically, yeah, you're just playing too slow to the opponent's standard. And you want to match the opponent's standard, right? You want to be just as quick or if not as fast or faster than they are. This positioning here is a little aggressive because look what's happening. Who is covering the net? You're not really covering the net. What happens if the ball got pinched rather than that way? What if the ball got pinched this way, right? You don't know, right? It can happen. It's Rocket League. Anything can happen, right? And then you get caught with your pants down. You got to cover the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is the ball comes over to your net sooner. Besides, even if you position here, look, the ball is given to you. Let the ball bounce, smack it out, and clear it, right? But look what happens with your clear because you waited. You give it to the opponents, and they're able to get a nice passing play off the backboard here. Hudev just wasn't able to understand the situation soon enough. If I was Hudev, I go up on the backboard here, and, oh, not Hudev. I'm sorry. Who am I looking at here? Oh, wait. Not Hudev. No, no, never mind. Scratch that. Hudev, I think, tried his best here. Could it be read a little better? Possibly, but whatever. At least he was there. Your cover. This is bad. I don't know why you stopped for this. The ball is over your head. Please don't go after this. George should go up immediately. George, you have to understand if Hudev's go after this first. Cover immediately if he does not hit this ball. Again, you're flipping. Don't flip, right? You're already near your net. The ball isn't going to, like, in this situation, the ball, just boost, right? Which is what you're doing here, but don't flip. The ball isn't going to immediately snipe down into the net like they have plunger, right? You believe it or not, you actually do have more time than you think. So don't flip, because look, now you're stuck in an animation. If the ball is savable here, you can't save it because you can't react to it because you're in a mid-animation. Stop flipping, right? Because look, you flip, which makes you move forward too long, right? You actually probably wouldn't have been flying here, right? You landed all the way over here, but if you were just driving, you'd be more conscious. You could jump up sooner and dust him, right? With your fast aerialing. But since you got too close, look how freaking awkward this is, right? Rather than jumping, okay, I'll jump up immediately here, right? But look, you're closer to the play, and I mean, I guess you could possibly beat him here, but he's moving too fast. So that's why I would say to give yourself more time here earlier, right? Jump up here immediately. Just go. You have to be quick, right? You got to be quick. have your finger ready on the A button. As soon as Hudev misses, blur, you can cover under, right? Now that George is going up, go around here, small pads, and cover. But hopefully, if George goes up a little sooner rather than what he did there, he should be able to beat the opponent. So you guys have a speed issue, a little bit of coordination, just deciding who's going for what. Okay, I see what you're trying to do there, but I don't really think that's the smartest idea at this point. The reason why, because look, nobody has gained possession of this ball yet, right? You're assuming that the ball is going to go down to their side of the field, but honestly, in this position, no one even has possession yet, so of course the ball is not going to go on their side, so you're really not doing anything. You're just wasting your positioning and wasting your time. Makes you slower to the next play. Okay, you should try to focus on definitely hitting the ball lower there. Oh, what a bump. Yeah, that's smart. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, George tried to go after this. Ooh, that's very ambitious of George to go after this. Especially when he has relatively no speed. I mean, look how... excuse me. Look how slow you are. Right? Look how slow you are. You get dusted, right? Because look at Hazard's point of view. Look how much faster he's going. Well, I mean, he is slow there. But again, the ball is moving quickly towards the opponent's side, right? George can go after this if he knows he can get the beat. Maybe you thought you knew, but what happens is this. Now you're too far away from your team and you're completely overcommitted. Honestly, it wouldn't be the worst if you didn't go after this, because you need to focus on defense, at least in this point of view. Blur has no boost. Hudev has no boost. Honestly, you guys are in trouble if the ball is on your side, right? Nobody has boost to even cover for the next play. So just get around, right? Just drive around wide. Let the ball hit. Go behind Blur, right? Okay, then you can go after it. But I mean, Hudev is already there. But hell, you can even call it for Blur. Be like, hey, if the ball goes around you, I got it, and then you can jump up after it sooner. I know this is kind of like crazy to think about. Like, it seems like I'm pulling it out of my ass here, but it's understanding what you should go for and what you shouldn't go for, right? It's really all it comes down to. Let's look at it from the opponent's point of view here, so we understand why their play works and yours doesn't. Okay, so I think the play is coming up soon. Yeah, it's coming up soon. Okay. JKnaps is covering middle. Right? Gets beat, no big deal. Now, what's funny is that Hazard is covering the case where the ball goes really high. That's what happens. Right? This is why they have better coverage of the field than you guys do. They know how to work the ball around because they understand what would put you in awkward situations. Like, of course, he goes for a bump there because he's the last guy, and the ball's already going in the direction of the net. So, it all comes down to just, like, even here, like, this is tough because, like, you think you can go after big boost, but you got to understand that the ball's moving relatively quick, right? You see there's opponents on this side of the field, right? Beaten, right? You got to remember, if you choose not to go after this ball because you want to get big boost, he's definitely going to go after the ball. Let's face it, because you either got two options. Cover the ball or get the boost and worry about the ball later. But the problem is, if you worry about the ball later, you're just inviting them to hit the ball first. So, again, just it's okay to leave this ball alone for a little bit, right? Ball is immediately going to your corner. No one's challenging it, right? He's away. He's still up in the air and can't reach it, right? JKnaps is all the way over there. He's kind of like getting boost. So, right? So just understand, okay, I actually do have time to wait for this ball and then go after it here, right? Wait a little bit and then go after it, right? So let's go a little slower here, right? A little bit slower. Okay, I'll go after it here, right? Again, tilt your card to the right, hit the ball to the left, hit it up and high. So you actually are missing a lot of clearing opportunities, but you're just choosing the wrong thing. I don't think you need 100 boost here, right? That's not what's important. What's important is stopping the incoming attack, right, from the opponents. And remember, Hudev has no boost. George is beat there. He's flying all the way around. You don't want to get too ambitious dilly-dallying, right? Because look, you invited them to react to the ball here, and that's why you get beat, and then you put Hudev in a bad spot because of it. So I think you can go sooner here. Just, you don't always need 100 boost. Good pass. Good try. Good use of George on the wall there. Good shot. Good play. See, you guys have potential. You guys can actually work together, but you guys aren't consistent enough with it. That's the problem, right? You guys are totally capable. It's just you guys gotta just keep the mistakes at a minimum here, right? Yeah, these guys, your opponents do make mistakes, right? Because that's why you're scoring on them. But they make less mistakes than you do. That's why they're beating you. Their teamwork is, for example, their teamwork could be just as efficient as you guys are. I mean, they're not the best team. I can tell they're not. Yeah, they have JKnaps, but let's face it, you're actually getting quite a bit of scores on them, right? So that means that there are plenty of gaps in their defense, right, and in their gameplay. But if you guys have less, if you guys have less consistency with teamwork, you're still losing. Even if their coordination is really not top tier, you're going to get beat anyways because you keep making too many mistakes, right? You make so many mistakes, you're just handing them the win, right? It's okay to make mistakes, actually, right? It happens. But please don't make so many mistakes where it's costing you easy games. I mean, I'm not saying this is easy, but I'm saying sometimes easy games are lost because you keep making too many mistakes. And it's like one of those moments where like, oh, I totally could have beat this guy if I played better. Which is true, right? Because you might recognize the opponent didn't really play their best either, but you just threw because you made too many mistakes, right? Way more mistakes than you should. Because you can make mistakes and still win the game, right? Don't get me wrong. Nobody plays a match, I think, 100% perfectly. Maybe it's possible if you're pro, but I think for the 99% of us, right, we never play a game 100% perfect. Even if you win it, I'm sure there's still things you can improve on. So the point is, don't make these insane mistakes constantly, right? You guys, I can tell you guys are a pretty good team. You guys you guys do have chemistry. So you guys have potential, but I think you guys need to work on the coverage more of each other's mistakes, just in case if something happens, right? Don't let loose on the defense. Defense is just as important. Be more mindful of opponents' positioning and what they can do with the ball, right? You don't want to always look at the guy with the ball, right? What's going on overall around the field, right? If they're positioning like this, like, for example, remember that play where you guys get scored on because of the low? You get faked and the guy went low on his air dribble for I think the first one? Was it the first one? Or it might have been this. It could be the second goal actually. But anyways, the part where the guy fakes going high and goes low with the air dribble. Yeah, here. Like, you gotta understand what's really possible here. The bigger picture is that they're probably going to go low because they don't want to hit the ball too high, because then, believe it or not, hitting the ball too high here would make it easier for an opponent who's on the backboard or a little bit farther back to actually just react and hit the ball. Also, JKnaps is coming in for a possible pass if he fakes it low. So, in this positioning here, a pass is possible. So, you should cover the passing option as best as you can. And then your teammates can help you cover the next option. Right? I know in this case scenario, you guys get scored on, but I'm saying in general, if it happens again, right? So I think you guys need to focus on more of your positioning. You guys gotta be quicker with understanding what's really going on, what kind of play is happening, what play is gonna happen. Cover as much of the field as you guys can, right? And just focus on playing as a team, right? You gotta try to look for ways to help each other and get passes to each other. Right? Because you want to keep possession as much as possible. Try not to pass the ball too much to the opponent's side, where like the ball is where they can hit the ball first before your team does. Right? Also, don't forget to, you don't always have to get 100 boost every time. It's okay to use small pads. Prioritize defense over big boost. Right? I won't say boost in general because you still need boost. Like, you need small pads, but sometimes the big boost can be out of your way, right? Remember that time where you went in the corner, the right corner here, and you dilly-dallied, and then they were able to get to the ball first? Well, that's because you chose the wrong thing here. You don't need boost in this moment. The better priority is to just get the ball out. So if you guys focus on those things, then I think you guys actually have a really solid chance of winning these matches. These guys didn't play that well, actually. I'm not going to lie. I thought these guys would absolutely dominate you, but they really didn't. So, work together and find ways to intercept their passes too. So, work as a team, cover for each other, be realistic with your challenges, and just be more mindful of the opponent's positioning, because their positioning gives you the clue to what they're doing. And that's why I said earlier to block their passes, because if you steal their passes, the two opponents are immediately overcommitting, because it takes two to pass, right? It's the passer and then the receiver. So that's it. So I think you guys have potential. So I think you guys can definitely improve, and I think with these tips you guys can become a really solid team. All right, so that's it for this video. Hopefully this helps you, and hopefully you guys can improve as a team with this. To anybody else who is watching this video actually liked it and helped you too, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.